Hello everyone, my name is Emily Horowitz, and today I am going to be presenting about Map My City, an online campaign for citizen engagement. Map My City is my idea for an app that allows you to help others in your community by recording your thoughts about accessibility of public spaces and rating them. When you go out and about in the community, it's as simple as grabbing your phone, snapping some photos, and making a note of any accessibility barriers you see. This project is really exciting because together we can create gigantic virtual maps of our towns and cities. When you log into Map My City to rate a space, your rating becomes public information for others to read. That way, anyone in your community can log into Map My City, view a map of their city or town, hover over a certain street, sidewalk, or park, and view any recorded accessibility ratings for that space. They can then use these ratings and reviews to plan their trips into the community more easily. For those familiar with Yelp, you could think of Map My City as a Yelp for accessibility. Yelp is a website where people rate their experiences at restaurants and businesses. Their ratings can be used as a tool by others who are deciding where they want to take their business. Map My City takes a similar approach, but to take it a step further, your participation with Map My City can help create a tangible change. The app collects data in order to determine the poorest rated location overall and sends a petition for change to the state government for review. Earlier I spoke about accessibility barriers. I realized that some people might not be sure of what an accessibility barrier is. So I would suggest when mapping your city, consider the following questions. Can all people enter this space? Can all people navigate this space without difficulty? And can all people enjoy this space? If your answer is no to any of these questions, you may have spotted an accessibility barrier. When you think of accessibility, what might come to mind is conversations about accessibility of buildings. Do they have stairs or a ramp? Could someone using a wheelchair enter this building easily? Or someone using a rollator? Another example might be a curb that blocks the transition from road to sidewalk. A person with limited mobility might have a difficult time entering and exiting the sidewalk if there's no curb ramp. The same goes for parents using strollers with their small children. These types of barriers are the ones you'll likely notice when using Map My City. They're called physical barriers, structural obstacles that prevent or block mobility. That said, there are many other types of accessibility barriers you might come across while out in your community. You may also notice transportation barriers in the form of lack of accessible or convenient transportation. You might notice communication barriers, which could affect people with hearing, vision, speaking, reading, or writing disabilities. For example, you might come across an important sign that has small lettering and no braille text. This could be a communication barrier for someone who has a visual impairment or someone who is blind. All of these types of barriers are important to be aware of and to record with Map My City. Map My City is designed to be totally user-friendly. There are 3 simple steps to using the app successfully. First, snap some photos of your location. Next, rate the location for accessibility out of 10 stars, 1 being the least accessible and 10 being a space that no person would have difficulty entering, navigating, and enjoying. The last step is to write your review. What are the problems you see? How could they be fixed, and who do they affect? Here we have a sample review. When you view a map of your city or town, you can hover over a certain location to see what photos and reviews have been posted. When you click on the locations page, you will see, of course, the location name or address, any user photos submitted, the rating out of 10 stars, and the written review. In this example, we have a location with a broken sidewalk. The visitor has rated this location 1 out of 10 stars and written their thoughts about the problem and who it might affect. My City has 2 overarching goals. One is to create a tool that can be used by community members to navigate their city or town virtually. By viewing the photos and comments other users have submitted, people can get informed about accessibility in their own communities and plan their trips to be as successful as possible. In this way, Map My City is not dissimilar from programs like AXS Map or the app Wheelie, which marks wheelchair and stroller accessible transportation. Where Map My City differs from these accessibility mapping apps is its policy orientation. Map My City goes a step further toward ensuring accessibility by automatically generating petitions for change based on the community's poorest rated locations. These petitions are sent directly to the state government to be reviewed. The more people participate with Map My City, the stronger the message will be. Together, we can collaborate to create change in our own communities. So this piece is a little behind-the-scenes look at my thinking about the app design. In thinking about my presentation, I focused on 3 of the crowdsourcing and social media techniques we read about. First, crowd labor. By encouraging as many people as possible to map their cities for accessibility, the vast and tedious task is broken down into many smaller tasks. Archiving all of this information would be unpleasant and ineffective if done only by a single person or agency. But with the collaboration of entire communities, the task becomes easier. Second, I thought about the crowd voting technique. By rating accessibility, individuals can essentially vote on the spaces that most require government attention and resources. It gives citizens a voice and gives the government insight into what people on the ground really want and need. Finally, I wanted to design an app that opens up democratic processes, meaning it allows citizens to communicate their needs directly with policymakers. It allows citizens to engage with government initiatives. And that is the end of my presentation. I hope that my Map My City app pitch has been convincing. On this page, you can view some of the sources that I used in the making of my presentation. Thanks.